Good morning and welcome to Monday's Maths. So today and tomorrow we are going to be looking at division. Now to get us ready for secondary we are going to be looking at long division and short division. So this year we have really focused on short division. However, we want you to have seen loads of different methods before you go to secondary school so that in secondary you're not kind of confused in September because you've never seen this method before. So we are going to show you short division and long division and show how they are similar, so actually you can understand both of them. Okay, so that is today and tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we're going to be moving on to something a little bit different. Okay, let's have a go. So this is what we're doing. We are comparing long and short division methods. So when I say short division, I just mean bus stop method, okay? So for this sum here, 6,312 divided by 3. Big number is going to go under the bus stop and the number you are dividing it by is going to go here. So we can say how many 3's go into 6, or how many times can you divide 6 by 3? It's up to you how you say it. So I would say how many 3's go into 6? Well, it goes in twice. Nothing to rename. How many times does 3 go into 3? 1. How many times does 3 go into 1? Can't divide 3 by 1, so we need to rename it. So we rename that 110 as 10 ones. What's 12 divided by 3? 4. So my answer would be 2,104. So when I'm saying short division, this is what I mean. Okay, so bus stop method, short division. So that sum I just showed you was nice and easy because we were dividing by 3. Now, this gets a little bit more complicated when the number we are dividing by is getting a bit bigger. Okay, so now we are doing 483 divided by 21. So our divisor, which is this number here, is now quite a lot bigger. Okay, so what we teach you to do when we've been doing it in year 6 is we have been teaching you to write down the 21 times table so that you can still do bus stop method or short multiplication because you've got the 21 times table. So the first thing I'd like you to do is I would like you to draw this table very, very quickly in your books. And I want you to fill in the easiest ones first of all. Which ones are the easiest ones to fill in? So if you're doing times 21, you can just add 21 every time and keep doing repeated addition. Or can we use some of our mental maths methods, such as doubling, halving, multiplying by 10? Can we use those to work out some of these? Okay, pause the video and have a go. Also, if you can, time yourselves. I want to see how quick we can get at filling this out. Okay, if I was doing this, this is what I would do. First of all, I would double or times by 2 one lot of 21 to get 2 lots of 21, which would be 42. How can I get 4 lots? Well, I can just double 2 times to find 4 times. How can I find out 8 times? Well, I can double 1 times 21 to get to 2, double that to get to 4, double that to get to 8. And all I'm doing every time is I'm just timesing by 2. Right, why have I also got times 5 and times 10 filled in then? Well, I can multiply by 10 really, really easily by moving it one place to the left and adding a placeholder as a 0. How can I then use that to work out 5 times then? Well, I can divide this by 2 to work out 5 times 21. I could add on 21 from 4 times as well, or I could find 10 times and divide by 5. So hopefully your final list looked a bit like this, because once you've worked out 1, 2, 4, 5, 8 and 10, it's really easy to work out the other ones because you just need to add 21s or take 21 off to work out these missing bits. When you do the sum, you might find that actually you don't need all of these parts. So actually you might just need these ones that you've worked out really quickly and really easily. Well done if you got those right. So we've got our times table list down the side of our page. Now, how can we use this to work out 483 divided by 21? Okay, so write your divisor. That's the number you're dividing by. Your frame is like your bus stop, and your dividend is what you are dividing. So there we go. So far, exactly the same as you would do for short multiplication, short division. So first of all, we're going to divide the hundreds. So can we divide 4 by 31? No, we can't. So we put a 0. Exchange the hundreds for tens and combine with the existing tens. Exactly the same as we would normally. Now, this is where it's slightly different. Rather than crossing this out and writing it over here, we're now going to go down the page instead. Okay, this looks a little bit complicated at first, but just bear with it. So, rather than crossing this out and renaming it over here, we're just looking at it as 43. Okay, so we are looking at it as 43 tens. Now, how many 31s go into 43 tens? Well, 1 does, exactly as we saw before when we did short multiplication. So we can put this 1 up here, but we also write 31 tens underneath it, making sure we've got our place value. Okay. When we've done that, we then take away these numbers to find the remainder that you're going to rename. So here's the 43 tens from the question. Here's the 31 tens that you've got because it divides by 31 once, and that's up here. And then you take these away and you are left with 12. And then you rename the 12. I'm just going to go back to the short multiplication and show you that this is exactly the same. So here we did 43 divided by 31, which was 1. And we renamed, there it is, we renamed the 12 over here. So hopefully you can see it's exactly the same numbers, it's just written in a different place. This is useful for if you find working out what's the remainder, what's the bit you rename. If you find that bit tricky, this is actually a good method for you because it's basically setting up a subtraction sum here to find the difference rather than in your head having to think, right, what's the difference between 31 and 43? So now we've got this remainder of 12 tens. So you can draw this arrow if it helps you. You're kind of working down your page for this question, for this method. So you're going to kind of take that 4 ones that you've still got, and you're going to drag it down here. So now you've got 124 ones. And now you do, the same as you did in short multiplication, 124 divided by 31. And we know that the answer is 121 because it goes in exactly. So then you take it away, your answer would be 0, and you can put a 4 up here because it divides 4 times. So the answer is still 14. Okay, hopefully you can see lots of similarities between these methods. The only thing that's different is that this one lays it out, going down the page, and you do a little takeaway to find your remainder. If you subtract them at the end, it shows you there is no remainder, so you can feel confident, yeah, there's nothing left over, there's nothing for me to rename. Okay, so here is all 3 methods. I want you to pause the video and I want you to explain what's the same about them and what's different about them. Have a go. Hopefully you can see that 1, they all get the same answer. Hopefully you can see that you're always working out, you're always getting, first of all, that it goes in 10 times. It goes in 10 times, it goes in 10 times, because of course this 1 is in the tens column. And then it also goes in 4 times. It goes in 4 times, it goes in 4 times. So your final answer is 14, 14 and 14. They're just 3 different ways of representing them and showing them. This is probably what you are more confident with. This might be a method that you become more confident with. This is probably something that you will do more at secondary when the numbers get larger. So this is what we're going to have a go at practicing today. Okay, let's go through a question together, nice and slow, just looking at long multiplication. So I'm still going to divide by 31, so we need to work out the times tables again because we've got them there. So we're now going to do 682 divided by 31. Okay. Can we do 600s divided by 31? No, we can't. So I'm going to put a 0. So now I'm going to look at the next number along. So it's really using our place value, this method. So now I'm going to look at 68 tens. And this is exactly the same as we would do normally, apart from normally we would cross this out and we would write this here. We're not going to do that today. Today we're going to look at it like this. We're going to look at it as 68 tens. Right, how many times does 31 go into 68? So I go down here. Oh, this is where 68 would go. So it goes in 2 times, which is 62. So I'm going to write 2 up here, and I'm going to write down here 62, because now I'm going to find out how much I rename or what my remainder is. So 68, let's say we had sweets. So we had 682 sweets and we're sharing them between 31 people. So that's like the whole class plus me, because obviously I would like some sweets as well. So we've got 68 sweets and, well, 68 tens of sweets. And we are dividing them, and we gave out 62 sweets because we gave out every single person, every one of those 31 people, 2 sweets each. Well, how many were left over? So I'm going to put my rubber here so you can't see that. Just ignore that for the minute because we're only working in the tens. So 8 take away 2 is 6. 6 take away 6 is nothing. So I've got 6 left, or 6 tens left. Okay, now I'm going to uncover that and I'm going to pull this 2 ones down. So now I've got 62 ones. So now I need to do 62 divided by 31. I look up here and I can see that 62 divides by 2 perfectly. So I can write a 2 up here because it divides 2 times. If I really want to check, I can put this here. Okay, for this next question, I want you to have a go. Now, I want you first of all to do the times table chart down the side. But you might only need to go up to 4 times, so you don't need to do the whole thing, just go up to 4 times 33. Then I want you to have a go at doing this at short division and long division, okay? Today's lesson is all about looking at both methods and trying to see the similarities between them. Okay, pause the video and have a go. Okay, answer time, let's go through it. So here is my 33 times table. I doubled it to get 2 times, I doubled this to get 4 times, and then I just added 33 to get 99. Okay, I'm going to try and do both methods at the same time so that hopefully you can start to see the similarities between these methods. So, first things first, how many times can you divide 7 by 33? Well, you can't. So for short division, I'm going to put a 0, I'm going to cross it out, and I'm going to rename it, so I am now working with 71 tens. For long multiplication, I'm going to put a 0 because it doesn't divide into it, and I'm just going to leave this here. I'm going to cover this 8 up, and I'm going to look at this at 71 tens. So 71 tens, 71 tens. So far, so good. Next bit then, I then need to divide 71 by 33. So I'm going to come over here. 71 would go here. So it can be divided 2 times and the answer would be 66. So I'm going to put the answer, the fact it could be divided 2 up here and the fact it can be divided 2 times up here. I'm just going to cover this up. Where's my rubber gone? I've lost my rubber, so I'm going to have to go for a glue stick. Hopefully it won't roll away. There we go. So 71 divided by 33 divided 2 times, and the answer was 66. Okay, that would be 66. So I'm going to write 66 underneath here. And then I just want to find the difference. This is basically the same as what you're doing up here, apart from here you're doing it in your head. So here we're saying, right, I had 71 sweets, I shared out 66. How many have I got left over? Here we're saying I've got 71 sweets, I shared out 66, how many have I got left over? We're saying the same thing, it's just here, we're writing it down and we're making it a subtraction so we can work it out, whereas up here, we're just doing it in our head. 1 take away 6 we can't do, so we're going to, move the glue stick. So we're going to rename. So then I've got 11 take away 6, which is 5. 6 take away 6 is nothing. So I then know that that's the 5 that I'm kind of renaming. These are the 5 tens that I'm renaming. Up here, I know that I've got 71 sweets. I've shared out 66. What's the difference between 66 and 71? It's 5. So I'm going to cross it out. and I'm going to rename those 5 tens as 51. So now I've got 58. Here's my 5 tens. I'm now going to move this ones column down here. So now I'm looking at 58 ones. Up here, 58 ones. Hopefully you can see that this is the same thing, just laid out in a different way. So now I need to do 58 divided by 33. I have a look. 58 would go here, so it divides 1 time, so I can get 1 lot of 33. So here I would put 1, and here I'm going to write 33, and put 1 up there because it divides 1 time, and 1 lot would be 33. So again, here I need to find the difference. I need to find what's left over. Same here, but here I'm going to do it in my head. So 8 take away 3 is 5. 5 take away 3 is 2. So I've got 25 ones left over. So I can write this as remainder 25. Or I can write it as a fraction. So 25 over 33. I could do it as a decimal, but I'm not going to confuse us by going there today. Hopefully here you'll see we do the same thing. So I've got 58 divided by 33, which would be 1. There's my 1. How many left over? Well, now in my head, I need to do 58 take away 33, or I need to do 33. What do I add on to get to 58? And my answer would be 25. So it'd be remainder 25, or as a fraction, 25 over 33. Hopefully you can see that this is the same maths, okay? It's just that this one, the main kind of positive of this one is that it's quicker. The main positive of this one is that you're working out the difference using a formal subtraction method, which actually can make it easier rather than trying to do it in your head like this one or writing other calculations around your page. It can get a bit messy. So there's positives of both methods. When you come to secondary, you might use both, you might use one, but we want to make sure that you've seen all the methods before you move up. Okay then, next problem. This one is a 4-digit number, so it's a slightly bigger number that you are dividing, but you should still find it nice and easy. Okay, have a go. I want to have a go at both methods. Right, answer time. Here is long division, which you might need a bit of help with, but I'm sure we'll be okay. So first things first, write down your 23 times table at the side. Then, can you divide 4 by 23? No, you can't. So you can put a 0 there, or you can leave it blank. So then you're going to look at 49. What's 49 divided by 23? Well, it's 2. And the 2 times 23 will be 46. So you've got 49 sweets to give out, but you can share them between 23 people. You can only share out 46. So then we take it away, and you've got 3. Oh, I said tens, I meant hundreds. 3 hundreds left. Now I'm going to pull this tens down. There it is, look. So now I've got 34 divided by 23. Can I do 34 divided by 23? Yes, it goes in 1 time. There's the 1 up there, which would be 23. Now I need to find the difference, what's left over, so I can rename it. So 4 take away 3 is 1, 3 take away 2 is 1. So I'm renaming 11 tens. So now I need to pull the 5 down. So now I've got 115. So now I'm doing 115 divided by 23. Well, if I've done my 23 times table, I know that that is 5 times 23. So the 5 goes up here, which is 115. Take them away and the answer is 0, which tells me I have no remainder. So my answer would be 215. This is the short division way of doing it. So hopefully you can see the similarities. So we can't divide 4 by 23, so we rename. Oops, so that should be a 4 there. So make 49 divided by 23. Left over would be 3. As you can see here, look, there's the 300s left over, renamed. Ooh, there's the 300s renamed, so it's the same thing. Then you do 34 divided by 23 would be 1, and you would have 11 left over, as we have here. Look, there's the 11. Bring your 5 down. There it is. So now you're dividing 115 by 23, which would be 5. Okay, I really hope that you are seeing the similarities between these methods. Now, if you would just prefer short division, that's absolutely fine. But you might actually start to see that long division does help you because it gives you a formal method of how to work out what's the remainder or what's left over. Right. Next one then. I want you to have a go at spotting the mistakes. So there's 3 different calculations here and there's 3 people that have gone wrong. Can you work out where they've gone wrong? Pause the video and have a go. Okay, answer time. This is quite tricky. The way I actually have done this is actually just had a go at working out the sums myself and seeing where they've gone wrong. So for this one, can you divide 7 by 26? No, so that's why that's blank. Personally, I would put a 0 just so you know you've done it. So now you're looking at 79. 79 divided by 26. Well, you can divide 79 by 26. It would go in 3 times, which would be 78. So what have they forgot to do? They've put the 78, but what have they not done? That 3 should be here in this column because it goes in 3 times to the hundreds, so it should go here. Then there would be 1 left over, so they've done that bit right. They've pulled the 0 down to make it 10. You can't divide 10 by 26, so they've done the right thing in pulling the 4 down as well, so you've got 104. So now you're doing 104, so because you couldn't divide 10 tens by 26, that should have been a 0. So the 3 should have been here, and that should have been a 0. Then you'd pull the 4 down. 104 divided by 26. It goes in 4 times, which is 104. So your answer, so it should have looked a bit like this. So you should have had a 3, 0, 4, 304. Well done if you got that right. Right, this next one, again, what have they forgotten? They've done 28 divided by 36. You can't do it. So they've got the remainder 28. But what have they forgotten here? A 0. So it should be 20, remainder 28. And here they've done a similar thing. So you couldn't divide 3 by 46. You couldn't divide 35 by 46. So actually you've ended up with 353 divided by 46. So this column, this method's not really helped us very much here, has it? Which it would go in 7 times, which would be 322. And your remainder would be 31. So what have they done wrong? It should be 7, remainder 31. Not a 0 because they haven't mentioned that remainder. Well done if you got those right. Right. Last little bit for today if you would like to have a go. This is your challenge. If not, you can stop and you can go enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, this is the challenge if you would like to have a go at it. So these look tricky to start off with, okay? These are reasoning and missing digit problems. So what could the missing digit be if this calculation has a whole number quotient? So if the number you are dividing is a whole number. Well, so the way I worked this out was I just started trial and error really. And I just started to look at, well, if I times 23 by 50, what would that get me? Well, that got me 1,150. So I knew I was looking around the times 50 range. And then I knew that if I wanted my end solution to end in a 5, I need to multiply by a 5. So then I tried by 55, and that got me 1,265. So that would work. So you could have times 55. Oh, sorry. So you could have 2 and a 6 in there, which would be, the answer would be 55. Or you could get the answer to be 45 or 65 or 75 or 85. And all of those would mean that those 2 digits in the middle made sense with the rest of the calculation. So as long as your answer was 45, 55, 65, 75 or 85, and you know that that's what the total answer is going to be, so then you can work out what those middle 2 numbers would be. And for the last one then, the diamonds represent the same digit. What digit could the diamonds represent if this calculation has a quotient with a remainder of 3? So again, I use trial and error. So you can start off with 811, 822, 833, 844, 855, 866, 877, 888, and 899. You can also look at the fact that you know that 800 divided by 16 is 50. So 811 then, that's not going to give me a remainder of 3. That's going to give me a remainder of 11. Okay, and the answer that I got, there may have been another one, was 899, because that would be 56, remainder 3. Really well done if you understood all that today and you followed all of that. I know it's a bit different, these kind of style of maths lessons, but we just want to show you as many methods as possible before we go up to secondary. So really, really well done if you did that today. Well done. See you tomorrow.